They're playing with the wrath of Bears Nation. Is Ryan Poles thinking things through, or is he just making it up as he goes? First, they sign a veteran tackle leader. But why is no one talking about his age and their 29th ranked defense? This won't fix anything. Second, a 31-year-old defender for $43 million? Atlanta let him go. And here they're celebrating. Third mistake. An FCS tackle who has never played football. Will he be the hero or just another fraud? And the worst part? Every single one of these moves depends on Caleb. If they don't work out, Chicago is plunging right back into the abyss. How will this end? The franchise is in full radioactive transformation. And the margin for error? Zero. Subscribe now. Hit that notification bell and find out if 2025 will be glory or an epic failure. Smash that like button before this whole thing blows up. The Bears front office is treading dangerous waters. What is Ryan Poles cooking up this time? I've got a piece of news that could change the course of Chicago's defense, but listen closely because there are questions nitrogen monoxide 1 is asking. Is EJ Speed the solution, or just a temporary patch? Pay attention, Bears fans. The name buzzing around Hollis Hall, former Colts linebacker EJ Speed, 142 tackles in 2024, 8th in solo tackles in the NFL. Yeah, the stats are impressive, but you know what doesn't add up for me? Chicago finished 2024 as the absolute weakest against the run, ranked 29th in yards per carry, 28th in total rushing yards allowed. Do you really think one linebacker, no matter how good, is sealing those gaps? I'm telling you, no. This smells like a quick fix, not a real structural solution. And here's the detail nitrogen monoxide 1 is talking about. Richard Smith, the new linebackers coach, worked with Speed in Indianapolis. Coincidence? Not a chance. But let me ask you, put the fate of this run defense in the hands of a 29-year-old guy who's never been to a Pro Bowl. I think this is a calculated risk, and a poorly calculated one at that. Speed is versatile, sure, but what happens if he struggles in Dennis Allen's system? If he can't adapt to the pace of the NFC North? And don't forget the obvious. The Bears already signed veterans like Grady Jarrett and Dale Odeingbo to shore up the front lines. So why not make a serious investment in the draft instead of chasing a linebacker the Colts decided to move on from? Ryan Poles is gambling with fake chips. Speed might be a solid piece, but if you think he alone is going to resurrect this defense, you're dead wrong. Here's my final argument. If the Bears don't fix the trenches first D-line, then no linebacker, not Speed, not even Ray Lewis in his prime, is saving this defense. What do you think? Is EJ Speed the missing piece, or just a smokescreen to cover up desperate moves? I'm telling you, the Bears are playing with fire. Do they really think Grady Jarrett, at 31 years old, deserves a 40-3- and dash a dash half dash million dash dollar contract after Atlanta cut him like dead weight? What is going on here, Ryan Poles? Listen to this. Walter Football just dropped a bomb. They're saying Jarrett is washed up, that the GM didn't watch a single tape of his latest games, and that this signing is straight up robbery of the fans. Even Seth Walder from ESPN called it one of the worst moves in free agency. And you know what? They're right to be skeptical. But hey, pay attention. Jarrett finished 2024 with just 2.5 sacks and 9 tackles for loss. Do those numbers justify $28.5 million guaranteed? Come on, folks, defensive linemen don't get better at 31. Let me ask you this. Is Poles about to repeat the mistake of Dandre Swift, who looked like a ghost in the backfield last season? But wait, it's not all doom and gloom. Jarrett brings veteran leadership, and pairing him with Montez Sweat could inject some life into a defensive line that reeks of mediocrity. Plus, who doesn't want to protect Caleb Williams by giving him every possible tool? Sure, bringing in Drew Dowman for the offensive line is a brilliant move, Walter Football gave it an A, but taking a gamble on a DT who no longer dominates. Here's my truth. Ryan Poles is desperate. Signing Jarrett isn't a strategy, it's a gamble. Free agency gambles come with a hefty price tag. Do you honestly believe a 31-year-old who's no longer all-pro is going to save this defense? Let me remind you that Atlanta let him go without a second thought. And don't forget about Dale Odeimbo, another questionable contract, $14 million per year, for a defender who had a mediocre season. Is Poles just throwing money around to make up for his draft mistakes? To wrap it up, ask yourself, is Grady Jarrett the hero Chicago needs, or just an expensive Band-Aid that'll only delay the pain? What's going on in Lake Forest? The Chicago Bears are once again chasing an under-the-radar talent from the FCS. Are they looking for hidden gems, or are they on the verge of making a colossal mistake? I've got the details that are going to blow your mind, Bears family. Charles Grant, the name everyone's repeating. This 6'5", 311-pound tackle from William and Mary, yes, the same school that produced DeAndre Houston Carson, didn't even play football until his junior year of high school. Can you believe that? A former wrestler turned quarterback protector? Is this genius or pure desperation? Scouts from 29 NFL teams, including Bears offensive line coach Dan Rouchar, were at his pro day. Why all the buzz? Grant has nearly 35-inch arms, experience with wide zone blocking thanks to his wrestling background, and the ability to play both left tackle and guard. But check this out at the combine. He said, "I can twist my body and throw any defender to the ground." That's pure confidence, people. Here's the dilemma. He's projected as a day 2 pick, 3rd round, but the Bears hold the 72nd pick. Is he worth it when they already have Kieran Amagaji from Yale, another FCS player, waiting on the bench? Or would it be wiser to draft a guard as a backup plan for when Joe Thuney moves on in 2026? Folks, this is serious. Don't forget, Braxton Jones, their current LT, came from Southern Utah FCS. And guess what? Colby Sorstel, Grant's former teammate at William and Mary, was drafted by the Lions in 2023, back when Ben Johnson, Bears' new head coach, was in Detroit. Coincidence? Not a chance. This is a clear strategy, finding overlooked players with something to prove. But here's my question. Will it work this time? Grant never played under the bright college football lights, but his technique is unique. Is he the next Jason Peters, or just another long shot project? If the Bears draft him, they'll need to develop him from scratch. Do they have time for that when this team is trying to win now? The final question for you, die-hard Bears Nation. Would you rather the franchise take a risk in the 3rd round with Grant, or go with a more proven FBS player to shore up the line? Drop your thoughts right now. This isn't just a draft, it's a statement. If Chicago goes FCS again, will it be a masterstroke or a mistake we'll regret? What's up, Bears Nation? We're just hours away from the draft storm hitting. And as always, the questions are piling up. First off, EJ Speed signing. Do you really believe he's the missing piece for the heart of our defense? Or just a smokescreen to distract us from a not-so-masterful plan brewing in the front office? Let me know your thoughts fast. Second Grady Jarrett rumors. If he joins, will he be the hero that brings some bite back to our defensive line? Or just an overpriced stopgap that gives us 3 months of false hope? Don't hold back, drop your answer below. And to bring the Heat picture to 3rd round, do you type in Caden Grant and roll the dice on his freakish athleticism? Or do you take the safer route with a proven FBS player who's already made plays under the big lights? This is the kind of decision that breaks friendships, Bears family. So give me your verdict now in the comments. All right, Real Bears Nation, if you truly want to be part of the community that lives for every rumor, every signing, and every second of this madness, hit that subscribe button and turn on the notifications. This isn't just a channel. It's a home where the fans call the shots. Are you ready to join the family? Click IT and I'll see you in the comments. Let's hope the Bears finally give us a season worth talking about. See you next time.